Hello, my beautiful moonbeams, and welcome to today's reading. I've put together 3 piles that are going to answer a yes or no reasoning or result that you've been seeking to a situation, event, or path that you can't seem to find the answer to. I do have a little bit of a different setup, and it's only because I'm not sitting on the floor. I'm actually sitting at a table because I recently had surgery, and that's why you guys haven't seen me in quite some time. And I really have missed you guys so much, and I'm so excited to be here and to give you the answer you've been seeking today. But before we get into it, we have to pick 3 charms for each pile. So let's get into picking that charm. Okay. All right, we have the hat, angel, and a mirror. Okay. Do pile 2. Got a bell, a coin, and another angel. Interesting. And pile 3, we have another angel. Oh my goodness. A crown. And a trumpet. So I'm going to give you a little bit of time to figure out which pile is calling to you the most. I am going to go over the crystal real quick. This is a Kunzite, a Rhodochrosite, and an Azurite Malachite. So you pick which pile calls to you the most. You can pick either the card, the charms, the letters, or the crystal, whatever calls to you, and maybe all of those elements call to you at once. Let the energy swirl around you and you'll know which pile to pick. You can also close your eyes, wait about 3 to 5 seconds, open them, and wherever your eyes land, that's the pile you are meant to hear. So let's get into it. Hello, group 1. This is your pile, and I'm going to go over the Kunzite first. Kunzite is a very strong crown and third eye crystal. It brings a peaceful nature, but a great awareness. So if you think of the crystals as medication, your amethyst is going to be a 10 to 20 milligram, whereas your Kunzite is going to be up in the 50s and 60s for you. So it's a more heightened healing crystal that brings cosmic awareness, mental clarity, and it just has that powerful essence to it that allows you to use it to tap in to your inner self and make yourself aware of things that need fixed, that need adjusted, aligned, and balanced. And that is your Kunzite. Isn't it beautiful? So there was a reason why you were drawn to this crystal. So we're going to get your crystal up here. Now this reading has to do with someone that has an M or F in their name. So we are going to put those up here. And your charms show, again, a healing through abundance. This is your angel that brings this healing through abundance. You may be having some difficulty pulling in, whether it's money, love, companionship, maybe it's a job, maybe it's just having somebody listen to you in a grateful, respectful way. But that's what that angel charm is coming in. I do feel that this is a manly, masculine energy. Whoever this is, it could be a female that has a very strong masculine energy about them, or it is a masculine man. And of course, the mirror is of reflection. It's showing either your true self or somebody's true self that you maybe not be seeing, and the mirror is making it more clear for you to see what's going on. Okay, let's look at your card. Your card is tin. Tin is a highly malleable metal. And it has a crystalline structure that can break down. That's where you get that sound of foil or tin being crushed. You know, when you crush it, it gets like crinkly, like a crinkly tin cry. And it can be broken or crushed under moderate pressure when the crystalline structure breaks and makes that sound. So on one hand, it can expand, it can mobilize, it can cover the entire territory, but on the other hand, the metal cannot withstand much pressure. So when this card appears, because this is a material element that they're trying to portray to you. So if you think of it as a situation, you can expand on it, you can mobilize it, but it's also a situation that's under a lot of pressure. So when this card appears, it's almost like you or the other person has reached their breaking point. And after you've logically looked at all the possibilities under the circumstances, your guides are telling you that there is more strength in requirement before taking steps or taking the next step. So you want to understand your strength under this pressure. And there's possibilities under the circumstances of this pressure. And you're being supported in the expansion of your own mind's perception. This is what they're trying to express to you. That you have the strength, you have the means, you have the expansion and the support on the other side to get through it. It's just you have to see the viewpoint as not being so much pressure, but expansion as to what you can do. So see how this like tin piece is kind of like, or it's like a box tin and the rays are coming through. It's almost like you feel like you're under pressure, you're blocked in, you're in a box, okay? But underneath like the little cracks of this situation, there's cracks to the situation. Your light is shining through and there's always a way out. There's always a crack or a way out. This is what they're showing you. There's always a way out. Let's see what else they want to say. I want to go to, I've got a ton of new cards I'm so excited about. I have yet to play with these. This is the first time I'm sitting down. They just showed up yesterday. So I'm excited to play with them. And I just want to see what else they want to say. I feel like some of these cards are going to stick together. This person is not respecting you and not giving you the boundaries you need to be the light in your own world. This almost reminds me of like tons of like words and actions and events that your mind is contemplating, and it's crowded in there, is it not? There's so many trees. It's so crowded in there. And even though trees have strength and they grow, it kind of goes with the tin, because trees have strength. They're very strong in their roots, and they expand and they give breath and life. And that's what your light does. It gives you breath and light. So when this person isn't respecting you, you have to see your own inner light and kind of weed out the shrubbery or weed out the chaos in your mind. I like that this is 1 and 4 because it kind of gives the 5. If you, here I'll show you the number on the M is a 5. And if you 1 + 4 is 5, that's something that jumped out at me. And this is also kind of like a green color with your heart chakra opening. Okay. Let's see what else. Your guides are so adamant that you're going to make it through this conflict and bring peace to your mind. Here it is with the having to find the calm within the storm of the conflict. I do feel like there's a house here, and it's kind of showing that this person is close to home. So it's somebody either family or very close to you that you've known for a long time. There's one tree. It's almost like you are going to get to that peaceful nature because you've weeded out the trees and have come to one resolution, which is your path, your mind, your decision, and how you perceive it. Okay. These are very interesting cards. It's very interesting how this reading is coming about. I've never played with these ones, so I'm very interested to see what this has to say. I'm excited. Look how beautiful those are. It's very gold foiled. Gorgeous. If you're interested in one of the decks, always comment below and I can get you the name if you're interested. If one of these decks pops out at you and you'd like to play around and see what they say for you. Remember, not every card is going to mean what the book says it means. I did get to read up a little bit on these cards when I was playing around with this deck. This was the only deck I kind of really got into yesterday, and it's so exciting, I've never had cards like this. This is a new kind of energy I've had to deal with, but I kind of like read through to see where the author was going with these cards. And it's very interesting how they took different elements and structures and alchemy and put it into a card. I've never seen that with any kind of deck. They're usually kind of like this, but they're never like this, where it really makes you think about what they're trying to portray in the card. Submerge. This is kind of showing me, again, you're so under pressure, you're submerged, and you're having trouble breathing in this situation. And you're sinking to the bottom, and you don't understand how to kind of get out of the situation to the surface where you can breathe again. This is what this card kind of shows me. And again, we have that number 5 with the 3 and 2. 3, 4, 5. So that number 5 is coming up again. And I feel that your guides are going to show you that number 5 when they're trying to get you aware of something important. I do see the peace. I do see you overcoming. Your strength comes out of you like a butterfly out of a cocoon. And just like butterflies being in cocoon, they're submerged in their cocoon. And so they pop out and bloom and become who they're meant to be, and their beauty shows through. And so many people enjoy their beauty and what they stand for. And I feel like you've been kind of submerged in hiding yourself as well, because maybe that's due to embarrassment, because you're embarrassed that you haven't done anything about the situation, or you're not fixing the situation. You don't know what to do about the situation. And anytime you talk to someone, maybe they give you too much bad news, or it's news you don't want to hear. Your guide's trying to be gentle with you also. Your guide just kind of said gentle like a butterfly. So your guides are trying to show you, or your main guide is trying to show you, we're trying to be gentle like a butterfly with you, because you're very delicate. You're in a very delicate stage right now. And you know what needs to be done, but you can't seem to make your feet go forward with what needs to be done. You know the decision you need to make. And they do want you to start anew. Start a new path, because you deserve it. You know that it's possible. You know you can go towards it. Let's go to these angel cards. These are gonna stick, I know, because I have yet to, these are like, all these decks are brand spanking new. I'm very excited to be using them. I love the energy that they portray. Okay. There's two things going on with this card. One is you need to forgive yourself, and your guide's also saying you need to forgive this person. In order for you to fully grab hold of your strength, your inner light, and move on, you first have to forgive yourself for any wrongdoing that you may feel you've done or done upon yourself, forgiving yourself, and forgive the other person, because they are still learning. They are perceiving the reality that they're in the way they're supposed to be learning. And you may both not be aligning with your learning, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be this grudgy, grumpy, hateful situation. You just have to understand that each one of you is learning in your own way. You're going to perceive the situation differently. And forgiveness is such a healing mechanism. And I love how, see how the purple, wow, look at that. It almost like completely blends with that card. And it goes right into the white. Look at that. They're showing you healing through forgiveness. Okay, let's see if they say anything else. I like these cards. These are, oh, this one jumped out. If you've made a decision, especially when you're doing this reading and you've already have it popped in your mind. Did you hear that? Somebody just knocked on my door. Spirit just knocked on my door. I don't know if you heard that. They're telling you, don't stop with your path. Don't get stagnant. Don't get depressed. Don't lay in bed. Don't sit and watch TV. Don't occupy your mind. Don't get into an addiction like drinking, smoking, overly eating food. They're telling you this is going to fix itself, but you have to start coming out of your hiding place. Stop hiding. They're telling you to stop hiding, but don't stop your path. Don't stop your learning just because someone is asking you or demanding you to be different than what you're meant to be. I also feel like a few of you have a different sexual orientation or gender, how you see yourself. You may be a male and see yourself more of a female, or you're a female seeing yourself more as a male. And they're telling you, don't stop being who you're supposed to be. Just because someone doesn't align with your learning or someone doesn't accept you, then they're not meant to be in your path. This is your path. So get out of this depression or hiding and start the new path. Because let me put it this way. I had a girl ask me who her soulmate was. And that's a broad question to bring into a reading, only because soulmates can be anybody. It could be your best friend, it could be your mom. Soulmates just simply mean someone that is repeating a life with you in a different format or a different role. So maybe in a past life they were your brother, your father, your sister, your aunt, your best friend at high school. And then in this life they became your mother, your pet, your fur baby, your nurse at the hospital. A soulmate is just someone that is having a path of learning with you. So what I had to explain to her was, I think what you're meaning is, are you going to find a romantic mate? And that's always a possibility in someone's path of life of learning with their soul contract, but it's not always going to be like that. Some souls come in and they see and look around themselves and they think that they have to be that way or they have to do what everybody else is doing. And you don't. If it's not showing up in your life, there's a reason why it isn't. Either one, you're not ready for it because you're at a learning level. And let's say what you need to do to bring that in is go to this level, but you're down at this level. But you need to get to this level to bring it in. So you have to do a little bit more learning to get to that level. Do you see? It's all in how you're perceiving your learning, how you're reacting, how you're feeling to bring in something that you desire to learn from. But not everything is meant to be learned from. Just because it's around you and everybody else is doing it doesn't mean it's in your soul contract to learn from. I hope you guys understand how that works. But what I tried to explain to her was, let's say, for example, you have a college student that got straight A's in high school, and then all of a sudden he gets to college, he's getting into, smoking weed, he's getting into bad stuff, and he starts hanging out, or there's certain people that come around him that provide him that energy or provide him those things so he can continue doing it. It's not until he changes his mind and says, you know what, I really got to get back to how I was. I really have to stop doing what I've been doing. And then what you see is him changing his alignment, his perspective, his learning, and now he's pushing away those people that were bringing that kind of stuff to him and bringing that darker energy of learning, and pulling in different people. Now, certain people start showing up to get him on the path that he is perceiving he wants to be on. It's the same thing with this. The right kind of people are going to come along, but you have to start getting up the levels and pull in the energy that you desire to learn from. You have to do a little bit of soul work to get there, okay? Let's go to, this is a new deck as well. I've never, so I'm asking, you know, can we have a confirmed kind of yes or no direction? I know that some of these cards don't have yes or exactly no, but let's see if they can't show us a direction. Okay. You're being asked to align with your current situation, even if it's not easy to do so. So they are basically saying, yes, you already know this answer. You're going against the grain. Trust that there is much to be learned by being here in this situation. Pushing against what is will only make things harder on you. Align, surrender, and trust. So coming in out of your submersion, trust that you're going to align with your decision, and you make up the rules. You're the one, you are the actor, the producer, the director of your own show, of your own movie, of your own play. You make those decisions. So if you decide to pull away or move in a different direction, start to emerge in a new direction and get out of that submerging, yucky, low frequency depression, and move into alignment with your situation. Come to grips with the situation and say, okay, either I can change this or that to align with it better, or I'm going to align with it by pulling away and pushing in the direction that is meant to be learned from. It's no good to keep going round and round and round with this situation, okay? You have to make a decision in order to elevate. If you don't make that decision, you're just going to stay stuck where you're at. But that's okay. There is no right or wrong in life. It is basically what you want to learn, how you want to learn it. If you're unhappy, it's changing it. This one, okay. Get out of the submerging, release. You're being asked to release any toxic people or situations from your life and start anew. You deserve to be free of all that drama. This is the first step in achieving. This is your yes. They are saying it is okay to align with your situation, find the better option, surrender to what you need to do, trust in the decision you're making, the path you're going to take. Pushing against it and just kind of sitting around doing nothing is going to get you nowhere. It's just going to make things harder. So release the hold back that you have. This is your yes. This is your yes. Let's see if they give us one more. This one. You're also being asked to have patience right now with yourself, because I do feel like this all seems too overwhelming. And that's maybe why you haven't been making a decision or making a direct path towards where you want to go, because you don't feel it's easy. But you could be completely dead wrong if you take the little teeny baby steps. Maybe it's obtaining money. So you do little baby steps to obtain a little bit of money. Maybe it's finding a resolution through, maybe you have to pull away by moving away. So finding, obtaining that small amount of funds, finding a place that you can call sacred and your own, and aligning with those. Because once you start with the baby steps, your guides, your spirit team is going to pull in things that you need. They're going to provide to you. They're going to bring you people and things and events and experiences that will help you along the way. They're not going to leave you stranded. You're strong, and there's a reason why things aren't aligning in the way you want them to in this moment. Have patience. It will eventually work out. Just take those baby steps. Do one thing at a time. Okay, let's do one more. Let's see if they show us one more. I like these cards. These are, oh, okay, so how's this one? Sometimes when things aren't falling into place after trying and trying, it's time to ask yourself if pivoting in some way would be a good idea so that your life can flow more easily and effortlessly. How could you pivot even just a little bit? So if this just keeps backfiring on you, they're going back to releasing impatience. What can you do just a little bit to kind of go around the situation and make things better for yourself? Wow, Pal 3, you guys, this is remarkable. Also, okay, so one last thing, your guide is going back to the mirror, and what they're basically saying is this person is reflecting triggers and things that you've been needing to learn. So if you are not following the course of learning and the course of action that needs to be taken, what's going to happen is somebody else is going to replace them. So it's almost like the soul work in this also needs to be done. And that might be why they're saying patience, because you have to continue learning from this situation. Start journaling maybe what you have learned from this person, maybe what you need to continue seeing and understanding through them. And you can also do this afar as well. You don't have to be in a direct alignment or direct space environment with them. You can learn all this afar as well. If you feel like you don't want to directly pull them out of your life, but you do know that you need to step aside and give yourself some space, you can still continue to do these things afar. So give yourself that option. Well, group 1, I hope this brings you some clarity. I hope you found your answer, and I look forward to the next reading together. Hello, group 2. Welcome to your pile. You had the Rhodochrosite, which is complete unconditional love, a heightened love. And if you look at the crystals as medication, your rose quartz is going to be like a 10 to 20 milligram, and your rhodochrosite is going to be that 50 to 60. So it's more powerful. I love how it kind of looks like a heart. So it's already showing its powerhouse of energy that it will help you with. So it seems that this reading may be about love, and this is going to be your heart chakra center of focus. So we're going to put our little heart rhodochrosite up there. Your reading today is going to have to do with a person with a letter E or P in their name. So we're going to put those up here. And your charms today are of the sacral creation. Sacral is all about creating, developing, and it's your angel of creation. We also have a bell, and the bell, I don't know if you heard, somebody just kind of knocked on the door over there because they're trying to show me that the bell is an alarm. So they've been trying to actually give you awareness, or these like announcement, like these little message of announcements to you. So the bell is kind of representing that they have been kind of showing you the way, but I'd like to find out if you're actually listening. So we're going to find that out in your reading. And the coin is, there's two sides to every story that you may not be seeing. So So this is the coin. There's two sides to every story, and you may not be seeing the other person's point of view or perception of how they view that situation. Okay. Your card today is conjunction. It's all about merging, the sun merging with the moon, dark merging with light. It's all about merging together in this situation, coming together and seeing both sides. Your conjunction card is also an alchemy of love, coming together, yin and yang, and developing that kindness, that love, coming together, working with two opposites, merging together to create a unique form, a third form. So you have two sides coming together, merging, and creating a third. So again, black and white, light and dark, sun and moon, to reveal the entire cosmos when it comes to revealing a spectrum of color. So black and white creating a spectrum of color. And when the sun and moon come together, again, the entire cosmos gets revealed. And this card today is coming to you not of a compromise, but rather an activation. So you're not compromising to the situation, you're just being activated, and a hold of tension and presence that allows each of these combinations or these entities. The whole reason for it is not to hold attention, but to help it thrive, to express itself in a third way. So it's seeing your point of view, their point of view, and bringing it all together as another point of view, a third point of view. So this is allowing you to see all those entities coming into an experience of conjunction in one of these like really cool human experiences that can be rather a blessing or a bond with whoever this is or whatever experience this is. It's showing a recognition by stirring up your heart and showing you an element of surprise through opposites that arise infinity, because these things are constant. They're infinite. Sun, moon, cosmos, color spectrums. I mean, when you cross over to heaven, you're seeing colors you've never really experienced before. So you've got your perspective as a human, your perspective as a soul, and then when you enter heaven, you bring both conjunctions together or elements together, and they thrive and expand. So this situation is all about coming together and expanding that awareness, and that's where this awareness is coming from, that bell going off. Okay, so let's see what else Spirit has to say. And I did get new cards, so I'm super excited about using them. These are just so beautiful. Look how beautiful. Talk about color spectrum, right? Oh, this one kind of stuck to my hand. Okay, so this is very cool, guys. Like, this kind of threw me. So two opposites, just like this. You've got two opposites, a dark and light, black and white. So you have two opposites, one seeing one way, another seeing another way. But you both aren't listening to one another. You are only listening to yourself, they're only listening to themselves. And it's being, you are being advised to listen better to one another, okay? That is pretty cool that they kind of showed that. That's really neat that I pulled that. Okay, I think this one. Guys, dark and light, shadow and light. There is two things going on here, two perspectives, one seeing one way, another seeing another way, and coming together to create another path of understanding. That is so interesting. In the way you're thinking is one way, but you think the other person, the way they're thinking is so completely opposite. But if you dig deeper into the way they're thinking, why they're thinking that way, you might have something revealed that you didn't know was there before. Okay. Let's see what else we get. Oh, this one is sticking. One of you is so objectified, so angry and frustrated. And by rejecting, you're not accepting. The other person seems to be, and this could be you or this person. Before I jump into that, I do see I almost see the sun and the moon here. I don't know if you can pick up on the moon there. Almost looks like the moon there. And this is the sun within the moon. So again, we have a conjunction of two elements coming together. And again, dark and light. But by rejecting and not accepting, you're not maturing in your learning of this situation. You're meant to learn from the situation. So by being stubborn, or if this person is being stubborn within this situation, they're not learning. They're not doing what they were meant to do when they accepted to come into the situation per their soul contract, and you per your soul contract, accepting this situation to come into it and learn. If you're being stubborn, or this person's being stubborn, they're not learning what they came into the relationship or the partnership or the friendship or the situation and experience. They didn't come into it the way they're supposed to, and they're not going to mature to the next level of learning. And we always want to advance as a human, as a soul in a human experience. We always want to elevate our soul within that experience, or we're just wasting our time. Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bump the phone. Didn't mean to bump my camera. My bad. Ooh. Okay, so I went to put these down and it was upside down. Instead of putting them down like this, it went like this. So I'm guessing this is a card that they wanted me to pull. So I think this goes hand in hand with this, that by maturing, you're activating, you're excelling, you're becoming a higher soul frequency. And this person is just looking on, wishing that they could elevate as well, but they're being stubborn, and their ego is allowing them to stay stuck. Or another thing that they're showing me is, if you relax within this situation, you will activate and elevate. So this is you looking upon your higher self. So there's two kind of things going on here. So which one ever you resonate with, if it's this person looking at you, or is this you looking at your higher self? Whatever one you resonate with, that's the answer that you're seeking. By relaxing in the situation, you will activate and mature within it and learn what you're supposed to be learning from it. And I love how this kind of comes up, because you are creating that situation. You are the creator, the producer, the director. And I love how this sun sacral energy is coming into play. Look at that, it's exact identical color. That's crazy. Okay. Also, this situation needs a lot of love. That might be why your Rhodochrosite is coming into play. There has to be a lot of love in this situation if you're going to try to balance the two elements out and see a third path element that you're looking upon, okay? Okay guys, sorry, I had to adjust my microphone. Oh, this one. Your guides are showing there's always something better to the situation. Especially when you bring both perspectives into light, there's always going to be something better that comes out of it, a more understanding, a more oh, I didn't even know you were feeling like that. Oh, I didn't even know you were thinking like that. You may not be seeing what's better on the other side of that listening, that understanding, that maturing, okay? There's always going to be something better on the other side. Okay, what else? These are all brand new cards, so I'm definitely feeling like they're sticking and I'm not really getting like traction like I need to. You are ready to take on this path. They're telling me you don't necessarily feel overwhelmed, but you are feeling somewhat confused. But I feel like you're ready to sit this person down and maybe get them to see your point of view and then try to get them to show you their point of view and then create that third path that gets to a resolution. So this is your card saying you are ready, so it is a yes. It is a yes. And this, okay, this just popped in my head. This is, some of you may be going through leaving a situation and they're telling you are ready to move into a different perspective. This is you taking hold of your reality, your creation. Isn't that neat? It just like totally, completely corresponds and synchronizes with that. So this is your soul coming into activation and awareness as to what you need to do. And this is like the new reality behind you. You just have to turn around and see it because you're ready to see it. So they're telling you, you are ready. This is a yes confirmation that if you are trying to change your reality or move away from a situation, they're telling you are ready to do that, but also understand the other person's situation and perspective. So sitting down and listening to them actually makes you very mature in understanding the light within them as a soul and what they're trying to learn from that perspective, but also having them, you know, be calm that you have to do what you need to do in order to move away from that situation. So they're telling you are ready to do this. You have the maturity to do so. Let me pull one more. I just being pulled to do one more. They're sticking, so it's kind of making it a little hard. This one. Yeah, they're telling you to let go of like trying to control the situation because you're ready to see what's better. There is better. So your answer is yes to letting go. It is okay to let go. So this happened on the last, well, no, this happened here. Okay, I'm just noticing this card, it happened again. So the card, I went to put the cards down and it was like that. So they're telling you to be assertive. You have to be assertive in order to get to the better. To get to where you need to go, you have to be a little bit assertive. Letting go, saying no when you need to. Okay. I just want to see what else they want to say on your yes and no. Wow. Okay. So you are getting like in your face confirmation here, guys. Detach and let go. It is time. You are ready. You will be asked to detach from something that you've been holding onto too tightly, by the way, and not letting things flow. And trusting that the outcome will work out and bring better things. And by letting go of your attachment, it lets better things in. So this is like a double confirmation for you guys. Detach and let go. And let's do one more of the new decks. I love this deck. Look how beautiful that foil, gold foil is. And if you are interested in any of the decks, just comment below and I can get you who makes them. I did have to do a little research on these because I've never met an author or artist who created cards like this where they took alchemy elements and put meaning to them. I just thought that was so fascinating. I'm just used to cards like this, so I didn't play with the rest of the cards because I didn't want to use them until today, but this just jumped out at me when I saw this deck. I was like, okay, let me just kind of read up on this stuff because it's kind of really cool how they kind of just took an element and then put a whole meaning onto it. that can be adapted to someone's life in such a way. And I just think this is so fascinating. So I did do a little bit of research on those cards just to kind of be like, okay, well, that's what they mean. That's the direction they're going. But again, not every card means the same for every situation, but I am seeing for pile 1 and your pile 2, it definitely applied with what we're talking about. So I'm very happy with this card deck. All right, we had 3 just kind of like flip. Okay, stand your ground, stand for your own justice. That's being assertive. So that's that card there, being assertive. Surrender to control and let go. So again, you're getting a third confirmation of surrender, detach, let go. Okay, and then the third card of something becoming better. If you transform, you can get to that something better. So again, I'm repeating the message because they are repeating the message to you. They keep repeating things because this is the message. You are ready to let go so you can transform and find something better to learn from. But you have to be assertive and powerful and full of strength to do it, okay? And that's it. Okay, I just asked if there was any more and they said no, because I'm repeating the messages. And they've been showing you these alerts by putting this situation in your mind. They wouldn't show you something in your thoughts unless it was meant to be learned from. So if something keeps repeating in your mind, it's because it's meant to be experienced. That they're showing you asked to learn from it, so you need to make the decision to go in that direction. If you don't, we're just going to keep showing it to you because you definitely wanted to experience it. So that alarm keeps going off and it keeps showing up in your mind for a reason. So thank you guys for allowing me to do your reading today. I can't wait to see you on the next reading, and I'm sorry that I've been absent for the last month. I had surgery, so my setup is a little bit different today because I'm not sitting on the floor. I'm actually sitting at a table, so it is a little kind of like off center, but I think it worked. I hope you loved it. I hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope you got the answer that you've been seeking, and let me know in the comment section below how this reading resonated with you, and if you'd like any more further guidance, there is a link to some really cool readings at very reasonable pricing. And I'll see you guys on the next reading. Hello, group 3. This is your pile. And you picked the Azurite Malachite. Look at that beautiful geode. Oh, it's stunning. Azurite Malachite is such a powerhouse coming together. You've got your heart and throat chakra coming together, which is a loving, calm communication. It's got that water feeling to it. It's so stunning. So this one is going to be all about communication and emotion. So we're going to get into this reading. I'm very interested in seeing how it's going to play out. The T and the Y also have a double 7. I think that's very interesting. So the number 7 is coming up in this. But the person that this is involving, or yourself, has the letter T and Y into their name. So we're going to put that there. We've also got the Princess Crown, the Root Chakra Angel or Passion, creativity through passion, and the Sound of Trumpet musical. I feel that whoever this person is, or the person could be you, is very musically inclined, very intelligent, and vibrates at a deep tone. This angel is coming to root you in this emotion and feeling and communication. So this is going to be a very deep, grounding reading. And I feel whoever this is, or maybe you, feels entitled to feel that the way that they're feeling. You feel that you are right in your motives, in your thought process, and in your emotions, or this is the person feeling this way. So that is going to be that charm. Let's review your card. Oil of Vitrioli. So we've got a lion yelling. This shows to me, again, that green. That's so fascinating. You've got an emotion of the heart, somebody that's maybe feeling frustrated, angry, and is desiring relief or a solution to stop what's going on. There's a lot of X's here, like XXX. I feel like things are adding up. And that might be with the double 7 too. Things are adding up that are becoming long-standing frustration and imbalance that's making this beautiful creature lash out in such a way. It's being consumed in its path of what's going on. It's being very consumed by this situation. And being prepared for the emotional turmoil of this lashing out or lashing about or being expressive in this frustrating way. There's definitely turmoil here. But they're telling you not to worry. These changes are necessary for the growth that you will get to in the end. The relief will be all worthwhile. The purification is the lion's aim of where he's frustrated towards, and it's determined to get there. He is going to be determined to get there. It is going to be a determination of getting there. You will get to the other side. There is a way. There's always another way. When this card appears in a reading, it is asking the question, am I the green lion or am I the sun? The one consuming or the one being consumed? So in this situation, which one are you? Also, finding oneself in the mouth of a lion is a necessary moment in any spiritual path. It's almost like you have to go into the situation to see it, understand it, and feel it better. It may be a discomfort, but eventually that discomfort passes, especially when the sun shines upon you and everything becomes brighter, more focused, and clear, brings clarity. So I hope that this reading will bring you some comfort. I feel like this situation has been long overdue and needs some kind of closure or some kind of adjustment and change. So let's get into what that may look like. I got all these new decks. They're so beautiful. Look at this. It's so beautiful. Look at that. If you're interested in any of the decks, please let me know in the comments section. I will let you know what decks I used so you can play around and use them in your life. This deck, though, was very interesting. I didn't play with any of the decks because I wanted to just be fresh and new with new energy for today. But this deck just really intrigued me. I was so pulled to open them up and kind of play with them, read the book a little bit. I normally don't read the books. Like, I didn't read any of the books on these decks. But this book, I was just very intrigued because I'm not used to words like this. So it's just kind of like, and I didn't even get to read this card, but there was other cards like with weird names like this. And I was just like, what is that? I've never even heard of that. So I'm going into the book, I'm kind of searching around, I'm kind of reading a little bit and it's so fascinating that this author just took an element and was able to apply what it does or what it is to a life situation or someone's life. I just think that is so fascinating. I just find this so fascinating. The alchemy of what they were able to put together. So I normally don't get decks like that. I get decks like, you know, like this with just the word at the bottom. So this was so different for me. I loved and enjoyed getting to know these cards. So I hope that you guys love your readings because these are all new cards I've never used before. I'm very excited about using them today. And I am sorry for being absent for a month. I had surgery, so my setup here is a little bit different. I'm not sitting on the ground or the floor like I usually am. I'm up on a table, so the angle of the reading is a little offset so that I can have you guys see at my angle. I want to go to this one. I don't know if you heard that knocking on my wall. That was very interesting right at the moment when I was hearing your guides say that there is definitely closed ears a flipping. One thinks one way, another one thinks another way. There's definitely not a listening going on. There's closed ears going on. Too much anger to listen is what I keep hearing. And it's sad that, you know, people can get to that point where they just shut out listening anymore. That it was just too much to handle. This situation was meant to enlighten you. It was to elevate you, put a spark of fire in you. There's that root chakra coming in, grounding you in enlightenment. I love how that green and blue's coming into play again over here. But if you listen, you will also become enlightened, because you will have some substance of what's going on in that person's mind and thoughts with what's going on. I'm gonna go to another new deck. This one is, I love this deck. Look at the beautiful foil, beautiful. There's a lot of knocking around me with you guys. There's a lot of activity going on. So this reading I'm feeling is very strongly advised. And you found your way here to listen to it for a reason. There is your blue and green again. There's so much chaos, anger, and frustration going on that your mind is not even still. For those of you getting this reading right now, I would suggest getting a Malachite. It will help calm those thoughts, those worrisome thoughts, those overthinking thoughts. You can get that crystal at any time, or the bracelet, or any of the crystal jewelry with Malachite in it on crystalcovegems.com. But I would suggest using a Malachite in your spiritual work and practice to help calm the mind and let it regrow in stillness of listening to your spirit team. There's knocking again. Guys, there's so much knocking around me. I don't know if you're hearing it. That was the third one. You are group 3 knocks. I'm hoping you guys are getting this. I hope you guys are listening to your guides. They're so adamant that if you do these things, it will make the situation better. If you listen and be still, you will be enlightened and you will not feel these emotions. Also, if you're dealing with somebody very angry, or if you're the person that's angry, a white halite will also help you bring that anger down. You can find that crystal and that jewelry on the crystalcovegems.com website as well. This one. Oh. See how her speech is stopped? They're telling you to not speak, but listen and be still. Listen and be still. Honor what is to come. I am showing that your answer to this situation is, I keep getting a yes and a no. The no to what you've been thinking, and yes to what you've been going towards. I'm not really sure what that means, but I'm sure that you will know what they're talking about. Let me see if we can get more clarity, because I am getting both yes and no, and I'm not normally, in the last 2 readings, I didn't get yes and no. So there is something else more going on with this. I feel like whoever this person is, and I'm seeing a lot of different things going on here. I'm seeing a partnership relationship, which is yes, and a family member, which is no. However, they are showing that you can pull away if need be to get the clarity and stillness and the clarity you've been seeking, but there is a no answer to it, but you're also giving yourself the sacred space you need to align and do things better. I'm hoping that this resonates with you because they're not really showing me a full situation, but like multiple situations that have multiple answers. So it can't have like a distinctive yes or no totality because you guys are a collective coming to the reading. So some of you are the yes, some of you are the no. This one's a little different. The last two readings were a confirmation of like yes or no. This one is a variety of both. Yes. So some of you are pulling away from a situation and starting new because you're listening and you're following the ending that needs to come. So that goes there. The end to a brand new path. And then the other one is a no, that the situation can't exactly be put up and picked and moved, but rather adjusted. So they're telling you to be more graceful in the situation, listen a little bit better, be still, show that enlightenment of love through communication, healing through communication. And this person will adapt to that alignment and become a better communicator around you. It's just going to take a little bit of time because there's been so much frustration and animosity that's going to take a little time to get to that new frequency. But the more you adapt to it, they will adjust to it. Oh, hello. Yeah. I feel like whoever this is may be sick as well. Like a mother that's ill and she's very angry and she takes it out on someone, or a grandmother that's taking it out on someone, and they're telling you to have a little bit more compassion. Give yourself some sacred space to readjust your energy. But two big things that they just showed me. Cutting your cord with selenite, it's 3 cuts to the front, 3 cuts to the back with a selenite wand, which is a very white, bright selenite wand. You can do an ore quartz wand as well. We have all this on the crystalcovegems.com. But also using sage and black tourmaline. Have a black tourmaline on you while you're around them, and use sage on your aura and in your sacred space when you leave them. So these are a lot of things that you can use to feel better when being in their presence and you have to leave. Honor leaving them by adjusting your frequency, and you will come back to grace and compassion each time you do these steps. Also, a sea salt bath for 15 to 20 minutes, maybe twice a week, depending on how much time you spend with this person. The more time you spend with them, the more frequent you're going to want to do the sea salt baths. You can even do a foot soak sea salt bath if you don't have a tub, and do some saging while you're doing the sea salt bath. But don't freak out if the water turns gray. It just means it's working. So they're telling you, you will come back to compassion, you will come back to grace if you take these steps. Let's go to this deck, which is new. Now these don't stick, which is nice. The other decks were sticking a little bit. Oh, what's this? You're being asked to fully believe in yourself and your path, your dreams. It's time for your idea of living inside your heart to be brought into the world so others can benefit from it. Again, coming back to compassion and grace. Believe that you can bring it to life and you will go directly. You will do exactly that. You will go directly towards that, is what your guides were flipping the words on me. You will go directly towards that is what they were saying. And this is saying you will do exactly that. So sometimes the guides will switch the words on me, and I fumble to try to figure out, like, what am I reading? What am I hearing? So yeah, they want you to believe that you will adjust, you will feel your light again when you're around them, and do what needs to be done. And let's see. This deck is the deck that kind of sticks. It's brand new, so it's very sticky. The cards do not want to separate. I'm gonna try to help them along. Let's see. This also shows like that sound frequency. If you play singing bowl music around this person, or you do it to yourself while you're in the bath, it's gonna adjust their alignment, sound, tone. So let me give an example. I was doing a Hertz frequency workshop. So my spirit guides were showing me certain Hertz sounds, when put together, will do certain healings within the body. So based off of what they were showing me, I was able to accomplish this with people, especially after COVID. If you got the COVID shots, I was able to adjust the frequency and allowing yourself to heal so that the shot wasn't affecting you, and it was getting purged, and the toxins within it was being purged from your body. So this is what they're saying. The singing bowls, like if you go on YouTube and look up singing bowls, the frequencies within the singing bowl sounds will realign and oscillate your tones to where they need to be. Yeah, you need time to recover from this person. So again, they're going back to, if you take these steps, you will recover. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to hit the camera. But you will recover, and you will be able to go back to your light, your graceful light, your compassionate light, your loving light, and ground yourself with black tourmaline in that protection of light. And no need to worry, because this, even if you're the one that is leaving and stepping away, all of this is going to work out. They're telling, again, it's going back to the mind and calming it with that Malachite. The worry will leave your system. Oh my gosh. Guys, you gotta double believe. You have to believe that your soul brought you to this situation to benefit from its learning, even though it is not the best situation. And there's lots of emotional turmoil that's thrashing about, and you're being consumed within its energy. There is a spiritual path. It may be discomforting, but that discomfort will eventually pass. Your inner beam, your inner light will shine through, and you will take those moments and cherish them eventually, because it will bring you to a understanding of what your soul was trying to learn the whole time. So they want you to just believe that you're in the right place at the right time, because your soul wanted to be there to learn from it in the first place. Your guides will never put something in your mind unless it is meant to be benefited, learned, or experienced. And they're just basically following your own instructions per your soul contract that you came to Earth with. They are following your instructions. You will succeed in all these avenues, whatever this path is. So again, yes and no. Either way, you will succeed. Wow. Group 3, your reading was so great. They keep, okay, so I went to put it down. Again, I got a third flip card, just like the last time. When I went to lay down, I got a card. I think it was group 2. I got a flip card. So I went to put the cards down, and I went down like this. So one of you or many of you may be going through a partnership that this is all going on. Either you're meant to leave and start anew, or you're meant to believe in the situation, take the steps necessary to protect your sacred space, your sacred temple. Your sacred temple is your physical that your soul resides in. So taking those steps to protect it against whoever this person is. But you'll know what to do based off this reading, and you will be successful either way, yes or no. Either way, it will work out. Thank you, group 3, for allowing me to read for you today. I do have expansion readings that are so reasonable and so amazing. You're going to love them. There's a new link in the description box below that you can check those readings out, and you can schedule your own reading at any time you feel you want it done. So go check that out. And if you need any of the crystals I mentioned, again, go to crystalcovegems.com. And I can't wait to see you guys on the next reading where we will expand on what is to come for the next month. I adore you guys. I love you guys. You will do fine. You will do great. You have this. You've got it. You're a powerful being. I love you. I'll see you on the next reading.